This show was delayed by 7 days because of an unexpected medical emergency that I had. But the most amazing thing is that life is precious. So this was our Christmas show that we had shot. It's fantastic. Plus, we got a great special guest, Joe McMillan, the wonderful prototype photographer that has given us so many great photos through the years. So let's continue on with show number 259. What's Neat This Week video podcast show.
Roll.
There you go.
Rock and roll.
Here,
It's the Christmas show.
Take
Well,
your
the question
headphones
is, will
off.
it be out tonight or will it be out
Put the
for
hat on
Christmas?
and then put the headphones behind.
very
I
smart.
don't
the
know the
hat.
answer. Where's my show notes? This is the InterMountain stuff.
There you
We
go.
have Christmas cards to cover tonight. I'll cover them midway through the show.
They're much better, I think.
Yeah.
Give a shout out to Spring Creek Model Train Company, as I wish all of the viewers a very happy holiday season. As Bachman told me, it's called Merry Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
We can't sing too much because there's copyright infringement.
Yeah, well, since I'm dating Holly, it's gonna be a holly jolly Christmas.
All right.
Here we go.
Okay. Are you ready? Because I'm ready.
No, I have a microphone to put on still.
Look. 2 days to Christmas.
Oh God, I'll never get the show out on time.
So as this show comes out tomorrow,
Okay.
it's going to be hours till Christmas.
All right, show it's 2:59.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Richard's running camera tonight. Thank you, Richard.
Hi, Richard.
Oh, we just want all of our friends out there to feel merry
Yeah.
and feel the spirit of this amazing holiday season.
Absolutely.
We made it another year.
That's it.
Yep.
Ready, Richard? Give us a countdown.
3, 2, 1.
The What's Neat This Week video podcast is supported by enthusiastic model railroaders just like you.
These are anyway.
And by GL Robotics, with over 61 colors of 3D printing filaments in stock. Your gateway to new technology. Check out their website at glroboticsusa.com. Further support is provided by Microengineering, keeping you on track with quality products for 55 years. Check out their website at www.microengineering.com. Order from your local dealer or order direct by calling 1-800-462-6975. Additional support is provided by Spring Creek Model Trains, your destination for model trains. Stop in and say, wow. Check out their website at springcreekmodeltrains.com.
And by InterMountain Railway Company, where the detail makes the difference. Check out their website at intermountain-railway.com. Additional support is provided by Yelsma Graphics, America's leading distributor of quality railroad art and embroidered clothing since 1985. Check out their website at yelsma.com. Further support is provided by the NCE Corporation, the power of DCC. Visit their website at ncedcc.com. And thank you for supporting the What's Neat This Week podcast. This is the What's Neat This Week show number 259 for December 23rd, 2023. I'm your host, Ken Patterson, the host of that wonderful show, What's Neat, over at Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine. Thank you very much, Joe, for my job. And we've made it through another year of shows. In fact, January is already in the can. And I'm going to work on February next week. Here it comes.
Nice.
We've got a lot of neat stuff on the table tonight to talk about. A lot of beautiful models. I've been shooting photographs all week. Starting on the end over here, I want to introduce Mike Buddy, who's been with us now since 2017, and he's been with the What's Neat show since 2012, and he's been with me, I think I met him in
95.
95 with the
Maybe.
Midwest Valley Modelers layout.
Yes.
You have been such a wonderful friend. I want to wish you the best of joyous seasons.
Well, thanks, Ken. Same to you and yours.
I love you, Mike.
Thanks, buddy.
Sitting right next to me, I've got my favorite Joshua Barton.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, Joshua.
Hello, hello. Merry Christmas.
Sitting right next to Joshua, I've got Steve Mantia. High five, brother.
Hello.
You are
Merry
the most
Christmas.
amazing persons I've ever met.
Thank
You
you.
are so kind and you are so caring.
Thank you for letting me be on the show all
And
the time.
Ken is glad you stopped on the highway that day
That's
to
it.
run you down.
Run me down.
Okay, a drum roll, please. In Skypeland tonight, as we go to screen capture and show his handsome face, I have Joe McMillan. Joe, as you well known, is a very well-known, published author in the press, primarily with prototype books that he has created over the years, and he's going to talk about that tonight. He influenced me a great deal, and he didn't know it until Thursday, when I explained to him that it was Lenny Applebaum that had given me this Santa Fe Motive Power book that came out in 1985. So I'm laying in front of the stereo system that my grandparents owned and going through the pictures in this book, and it's the one book that made me want to model the Santa Fe Railroad, and it's all black and white, but it covered all of the locomotives at the time in their consists.
Wow.
That's the first of many books that I want to show off tonight. Joe, welcome to the show, Joe McMillan.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
It's awesome to have you. I can't hear him. Oh, boy.
Maybe that's better.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as an introduction that would be appropriate to convey how you have probably influenced many thousands and thousands of other model railroaders through
Absolutely.
your years of dedicated work.
Well, thank you. I hope it's been a help to a lot of people.
He also publishes calendars.
Yes.
Back in my real estate company, back in going back to 1988, I had all of those calendars with all my dates and all my schedules and all my appointments and all my closing dates. The Joe McMillan calendar was there for me. And at the end of the year, I couldn't give them up. I saved them. They're all up in the garage, and I should have brought them down tonight. A lot of them I took apart, and I hung all the pictures up around the ceiling of the real estate company. Not that we were selling trains at the time, but it was beautiful photography, and it made the office look that much better.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are so welcome, Joe.
It's a fun project. We've been doing it now for 40 years.
Wow. That's
Hats off
amazing.
to you. So tonight on the table, we have a lot of beautiful new InterMountain locomotives in N scale. These are F7s. And ESU Loc Sound is a primary sound in the units. ESU Loc Sound number 5 micro. Also, these units are available in DC only and DCC ready. And a lot of these are DCC ready. The Santa Fe's are in fact the ones that have got Loc Sound in them. And I'm going to show you a beautiful video clip in a few minutes of one of them running. First of all, I'm going to start out and share with you the beautiful Mike Buddy's favorite, the Frisco F7A, number 5032, and Frisco F7B, number 125. Shout out outside in some very dirty sunlight this week. What do I mean by that? I mean, I had high clouds. So I'm probably correcting all of these photos in Photoshop so they look amazing. But the fact is, I don't like shooting in high clouds. It gives up too much hardcore sun, which makes the models look that much more realistic. Also, I've got the Santa Fe Bluebonnet F7A number 327L and F7B number 337B. I want to remind you that all of these models come with etched grills, which is an added feature that makes the detail look that much more magnificent in N scale. The lighting effect on these units is amazing in that I ran these Santa Fe units on the N-scale layout. And look at the number boards, the headlights, the operating oscillating front headlight. Absolutely amazing in that this is N-scale, that they could pack this type of detail into the units that have the full Loc Sound decoder in them. I've got Alaskan Railroad
In the DOT scheme, F7A number 1530 and F7B 1517. Look how great the yellow and the blue look in the
nice.
sunlight. I've got the Burlington Northern, the hockey stick scheme they call it, in green and white. F7A number 9780 and F7B 9745. Northern Pacific in the two-tone green. How pretty is this? F7A number 6511A and 6511B. And the last one that I want to show you is the Ohio Central. This is F7A number 1000. This is in red. And what's amazing about these units is, as we well know from a lot of Joe's books, railroads number their locomotives differently. In fact, the Santa Fe used to renumber their locomotives every 5 to 7 years, the entire consist. It was very hard to navigate when you're trying to model an era, because you wanted to make sure that the locomotive numbers that you were shooting in the one photo matched the date, and that you're not using a locomotive from 7 years previous to being numbered. That was a big deal with the alligators, as you may or may not know. A lot of the manufacturers were trying to figure that out, whereas they came out with the alligators in the 900 series, and then they came out with the alligators in the 4-digit series thereafter. But they actually never came out with one where you could run the black and white tiger stripes with the yellow and blue yellow bonnets together, because they always chose to make the tiger stripes the 900 series and then the yellow bonnets the 9000 series. But what Santa Fe did for that was, rather than re-stencil the whole cab, they simply added a number to the end, which, I don't know. If you model the Santa Fe, that's something that you well know. Also on the table tonight from InterMountain, we have got HO scale boxcars. And these are actually really neat. These are the X29 boxcar series.
That's pretty cool.
With the flat roofs on them. I got the United States Army in green, number 24898. That's a nice car. I've got the Pennsylvania Railroad with the Circle Keystone logo on it, car number 504466. I have Maine Central. That's a beautiful car in green with the yellow graphics on it. Car number 5556. We also have Jersey Central Line car, number 21263. And I also have the Lehigh and New England Railroad car. That's the one that's in black on the table, number 8274. And I have one that is from down south of the border. And I don't have James Regier and I knew I was going to mess this up. I cannot pronounce it, but I'm showing you the car on the screen. I literally cannot say this. Fierro Carlisle di Cholula El Pacifico.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Did I get it right?
Oh, of course.
Car number 5598. And now I'm craving hot sauce. So without further ado, I want to go out to Skype. Joe McMillan, you've got to tell us, in all your years of tenure of doing what you've done that's influenced so many people, tell me about your passion for what it is you have done through the years.
Well, my philosophy has always been to photograph everyday action on the railroads. I prefer those to special trains and to special activities, and although I photograph those, I prefer to photograph everyday things. And my philosophy has always been to start with a good camera and good lenses and know something about composition. And take pictures of everything, but do it right. Don't just take snapshots of everything. Think about what you're doing. Take good pictures of them. And at the time, they may seem mundane, but add 50 years or so to the pictures, and then you've got history. Mm-hmm. And that's always been my philosophy. Do a good job with everything that happens today, and 50 years from now, people can look back on that and use it to see what the railroad was like 50 years ago.
Wow, that's so well said. I would actually shorten the term. I would shorten the term down to 10 years because things have always changed so fast with the prototypes. But it's the fact that you did shoot this stuff. And a lot of your books that have been published, they're probably less than 15 to 10 years with regards to the year of the photography to the point where the book came out. So that the modelers out there can still model their favorite railroad accurately within a scope of time.
Yeah, in Santa Fe, the books have all been about the last 30 years of the railroad.
Yes.
And you're right. The photographs would start in the mid 60s, but the preponderance of photographs in any one book are probably in the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Yes, the war bonnets, the most famous paint scheme in the world that Lionel obviously made famous to the general public for many, many years. You captured that. You captured the blue bonnets. You captured the yellow bonnets. I should stop because I actually want you to talk about some of your stuff. The one book I've got, you came up with a series. I think it was a series of 4 books. I only have 3. Wheat Lines and Super Freights.
Right.
And that book,
it's a set of 6 books now.
right?
Wow.
Oh, it's 6?
We
Oh my God, I'm
completed-
falling behind.
Slacking,
Yeah,
boy.
6 of them.
Here you go. Next book I want to highlight is the War Bonnets and Blue Bonnets. Santa Fe
nice.
in Color Series, Texas.
That's right. Yes.
Okay? The book that I used to build the Midwest Valley Modelers layout, which was from Chicago to Kansas City, was High Green to Marceline.
The history.
14-foot centered on main lines, white ballast, all the wonderful corn stalks, all the wonderful farm fields, grain elevators. And I use this book so much the cover came off. And that's a testament to your work, Joe. It's not that you made cheap books, it's because I literally wore it out. Because this book was with me every step of the way. In fact, if you look in this book, I took scale coat paint and I took the samplings that I mixed to match the colors for the Santa Fe yellows and reds to make sure I got it right using your books.
Yeah, we may, that book's been out of print for about 30 years now, and we're thinking about reprinting it.
You're showing my age.
I love that you in this book here you have the station and then you have inside the station and people actually working in the station. How cool is that?
I know, I'm probably going to photograph that.
Okay, I'm
Now,
gonna.
Joe, you told me to go on Flickr, and we did that tonight, where a lot of your work can be seen. The boys were very impressed because you don't just shoot Santa Fe, you shoot UP, you shoot BNSF, you shoot a lot of other railroads. But your Flickr account, I cannot pull pictures off of. So any photograph you talk about tonight, you've got to email to me.
Right. I emailed you 4 more this afternoon. Did you get those?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So go ahead and launch into some of your favorite works, because in the model press, I know which ones are my favorite.
Yeah.
There's probably only 7 that are really, really spectacular out of the thousands I have shot. Tell us about some of yours.
Well, are we going to get to see them, or?
We're going to put them on the screen as you talk about them.
Okay. It's hard to know. I've got a lot of favorites that I like, but it's hard to know what might be a favorite to somebody else. A picture of a station would not necessarily be a favorite of mine, but it might be to somebody else who's trying to build a model of that station.
Correct.
So it's hard to say what a favorite picture is.
What's
It also means the same thing to somebody else.
What's a couple of your personal favorites of the photos that you shot?
Your composition,
Yes.
your memory of the moment shooting the photo.
Well, I try to take good notes in what I do. I've been shooting digital photography since 2005, and so the camera helps out a lot by recording the time and date.
Yes.
So I keep notes. And back in the old days, I started in the 1950s shooting, and there's not a lot of information about those pictures as to time and date other than the year. But shortly thereafter, I started to make sure that every slide that I had was titled and dated and all that. So I've kept that information, and then I've got a huge Santa Fe library here, so I'm looking for a very specific location. I have all that information right at hand here. So
Wow.
I try my degree is in civil engineering, so all of my text and things like that kind of center around where it is and the location, the subdivision, division, and all that kind of stuff. I'm not a very creative photographer like a lot of my friends are, because I record ordinary stuff in ordinary light for the most part, and so I try to record what I'm shooting because I know that I'll need it when either I date or file the pictures, or years later when I try to write captions for those pictures.
Totally understand. That makes sense. Give yourself credit, though. Your composition, the way you set up a photograph, it comes through loud and clear in your books. I remember when I used to go out and we've got a steam locomotive coming through town. I would go out the night before, and actually, this is probably not normal. I would literally cut down trees and take a weed eater and make the scene more appropriate for the shot at the bridge that I'm trying to shoot. Now that's a little overkill, but we don't get that many steam engines through St. Louis, and so those are the steps that I would go to. When you're out there shooting in the field, the other thing is, again, composition. The telephone lines, the trees, the telephone poles, all those things in your photograph, it seems like to me in a lot of the shots, they're literally omitted. They don't convolute the photo because, again, you take the time to set up the shot before the train even gets there.
Yes. Other photographers call that shooting wide. In other words, don't fill up the whole screen with just the nose of the locomotive. Back off and get a little bit of the countryside and what's going on around the train, around the picture. And that's what I like to do.
And that makes the photograph so much more memorable, it seems like, so much more into a scene.
From a standpoint of modeling, it makes the books that much more
Useful.
useful.
Definitely.
Because they lend themselves well to the model railroader that's trying to create the overall scene on the layout with the scenery that Joe puts into the composition of the photograph.
Yeah, you want people to see what's around the train, old cars or baggage wagons or whatever. You want to set the scene. You want to see the scene.
Yeah, the history of the whole, beyond just the train, the history of all this stuff going on. Yeah.
Right, Jingles.
Yeah, that's it.
You look ridiculous.
I know, it's so cute.
I'm so proud.
Okay. Joe, continue, because I can't get enough of you. Just keep talking about your passion.
Well, that's been my passion ever since taking my first pictures in 1953, and I've been at it, and I'm still at it. I still go out every chance I get to shoot. I was out yesterday. They're running a lot of oil trains now through here on the Moffett line, and the mountains are only 10 minutes away.
Wow.
So I can go there. I can be working at home on something and not wanting to take a lot of time out and still go to the mountains and get a shot or two and come back and continue my work.
Nice.
So I do that all the time. And so I'm still recording things like I did years ago at the daily, everything that happens. We have these oil trains now that are about once a day. So I try to record those because we lost a lot of our coal trains, and now the oil trains are kind of taking their place. And we have the BNSF and the UP that run behind my house here. So we've got two different railroads using the same track and on the Moffett, and you can't argue with the beautiful scenery up there in the mountains.
Absolutely.
So it's easy to get to for me, and it's just a matter of relaxation. I enjoy going up and spending a day up there.
That's awesome. Now, you never ask a question that you don't ask in the green room prior to our interview, but I do have one question that's in my mind, and that is, have you ever, through your years, had any desire to model?
A little bit.
Okay.
But I grew up with Lionel when I in the 40s and 50s, and I have a letter from my grandmother. Every Christmas, I would ask for a Lionel, and I have a letter from my grandmother saying, after the war, we'll get you a Lionel train. So I had to wait until the war was over to get my trains, and I did, and I built up a decent Lionel set over the years. So I wouldn't say I was a modeler, I was a train runner.
Okay.
Put the track together and run the trains. And I dabbled a little bit in HO after that, but I don't have the skill, and nor have I really have the time for that, because my passions lie elsewhere.
Absolutely.
And I just don't have time for it. But that doesn't mean that I don't really, really admire the people that do this. I'm a member of the Santa Fe Modelers Group.
Yes.
And some of the fellows there do amazing work, and I love the stuff. I love the conventions that I go to, which I've been to all of them except one. And I love to see their models and what they enter in the contest and all that. So I have a very high appreciation for you guys that do this work and do the modeling. It's just not my cup of tea. But if I can help you in your cup of tea, that's
Well, you have for thousands and thousands
Yeah.
and thousands of people. So,
Right.
You definitely made an influence in my world.
yeah, I mean,
Any of the photographs on the Midwest Valley Modelers layout that I shoot in outdoor real sunlight with the scenery and the white ballast and the track centers and the rivers and the fake fir grass and all of that with the blue sky, those photographs in models look right out of your books.
good. I'm glad they were helpful.
It was very important because
Yeah.
that was the judge. That was a report card.
Well, sure.
That was whether you got it wrong or right. There's no nonsense when it comes to a model railroad photo. You either nail it or you don't. And this is previous to Photoshop. And even after Photoshop came out for 10 years, I refused to use it because I considered that cheating. I do Photoshop now. I can take anything and make it look so real you can't believe it. But back then, when you're shooting slides, you only get one shot. The right exposure, the right setup, the right everything.
Yeah.
Some of the covers down here, I'll do one, for example, Mainline Modeler. I don't know what year it is because I can't see it because the lights are so bright. But it was a child with his father on a John Deere farm tractor and a BNSF consist of trains running past with the cornfields. And the tractor is plowing the field. And the boy is standing there with his dog. I shot that photo. I did 7 or 8 or 9 different photo shoots before I released it to Bob Hunman at Mainline Modeler, just because it was that one shot, that one slide that made all the difference in the world. Now, if I was doing it, I'd probably do most of it in Photoshop.
Yeah, the real hard thing these days, though, with the slides is getting good images, good scanner images from slides. I have a really good scanner, but still, it takes a lot of skill. If you've got a dark engine, like steam engine, or you got dark trucks or something like this, and if there's no detail in the slide, you're not going to get it out of a digital.
No, you're not.
If it's not there, it's not there. So if you take a digital picture and you have dark trucks or something, you can lighten those
Yes.
and add a little contrast and make it look great. But if you've got a dark slide or has dark parts of the slide, it's very difficult to lighten those. So it's hard to come up with a good image with a not so good slide. So I try to stick with my better stuff. when I do the scan.
And that's the great thing about digital photos is when you were using slides and had the old style cameras, you couldn't tell what the photograph looked like at the point.
Right.
No, but you had a good feel for it because you would bracket.
Right.
Right?
See, right now with digital cameras, it's very easy to bracket. I very rarely take one picture of a train now.
of course.
I take several because you do not know how the train is going to line up with the background and plan one shot to get it perfect.
Sure.
Because there's always a fence post in a way, or there's a dark tree behind the dark engine nose or something like that you don't see quick enough to do something about it. If you take a series of pictures, I'll pick out the 2 or 3 best ones and delete all the rest of them. But we didn't do that in slide days. We couldn't click our shutters fast enough, So you pretty well had to learn to take maybe just 1 or 2, maybe 3, and then we got motor drives. We could take a few more, but it wasn't like it is now in the digital age, being able to take good compositions and select one of maybe 10 slides. I'll take 10 slides of a train going by in the mountains, and or 10 images, and then I have a good choice to what to pick out.
There you go. I'm very impressed that you went digital in 2005. I went digital in 2007, kicking and screaming. But once I discovered what you could do with that, I wasn't screaming no more. It was an opportunity. And in fact, no more going to the developer, waiting 2 days, going back down, getting the shots to know if I got to do a reshoot. Now it was immediate 1-hour service. Hey, Bachman, here's the shot. The scene is still set up in the backyard. What do you think? What do you want me to move and change? So digital has made our lives easier, more productive, and more profitable.
And it's better reproduction by far. You skip the whole scan step.
Oh yeah.
You go directly from your raw image or whatever it is, and if you take raw images, chances are you're going to have to use Photoshop to bring it back to the way you remember the scene was. And but it's a snap. You can do it. You can do it very easy, and it's so much easier than back in the old days where we took 1 or 2 slides of something. And I remember when I was in college and film was expensive, and all we had in Texas where I was FTs and GP7s, and myself and my buddy John Charles, we'd go out and we'd take one picture, of a FT or an FT train going by. We'd take one slide, and never any duplicates or anything like this. And then we go to down to the station at Lubbock and put our film on the RPO car of the California Special, and go to Dallas, and they'd develop the film and they'd send it back to us. Wow. That was kind of our regular routine in those days.
Wow.
That's up and beyond.
Mama, don't
That's
take
crazy.
my drug.
What kind of equipment do you like to shoot with, Joe?
I use Nikons now, Nikon D850 and an 810 and a 700 right now. But back in the old days, when I first went to slides in late '63, I used Pentaxes.
Yes.
I used Pentaxes.
God, we are so parallel.
Excellent lenses and excellent cameras, and I think it's about 1972 or 3 I changed over to Nikons, and I've been Nikons ever since.
You and I are absolutely.
So whether you have a Nikon or a Canon, it doesn't make much difference. Both of them are great cameras, and you can't go wrong with either one of them.
Absolutely right.
They're great.
I started out with Pentax, and then I went to Nikon, and I've been using Nikon ever since, and I've never graduated to Canon because I didn't feel the need to, because Nikon did everything I needed it to do.
That is correct. Same here. And once you get a whole bunch of lenses, you don't want to go changing cameras.
No. No, you are absolutely so correct. All right, coming back into the room here, I've got Steve Mantia and I've got Mike Buddy with a lot of models to talk about. Let's start with you, Steve. What did you bring tonight?
Well, it's Christmas time, so of course you have to bring the Christmas cars and that, and of course the the Merry Christmas water tower that I couldn't leave the house with. That Glenda made sure she grabbed it off the layout to put on the thing here.
Absolutely.
And well, I actually found one of them on your shelf. Your
the
Williams
Bachman,
little
yeah, Williams.
that one there. I had the Lionel, the Mrs. Claus, and Santa, and I think this is one where Mrs. Claus does all the work. One of the other cars, Santa seems to do all the work, but this one, Mrs. Claus does the work. So it works out perfect. You've got the Winter Wonderland tank car.
Nice.
Has that got candy inside of it?
No, it's just glitter that's in there, type of thing.
So it's a clear tank car.
Clear tank car, and you've got the little glitter pieces in here to shake around.
I always knew tank cars on the main line carried glitter in them.
That's it, glitter. That's what we want, glitter.
I
to
knew
go that way. And we've got got some trees. We're all set. All
Nice.
set for Christmas.
That's awesome. And you're wearing a hat tonight.
Oh, yeah, I am. I do have a hat on. Yeah, gosh.
yeah.
It's a little warm. It's about as warm as the wig we had the other day. So
You know what? You know what? You know what? You know what? Tomorrow's Christmas. You know what? You know what? You know what? You know what? Tomorrow's Christmas.
I got to edit this show.
well,
Yeah.
is your Christmas? Oh, we won't know until your
We're
Christmas
not going
present.
to talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the Christmas present until after
Yes.
Christmas, but I'm anxiously waiting
Yes, because yeah.
for my G&L Robotics Christmas presents.
What's he saying?
2 days.
2 days.
Oh,
to
2 days,
Christmas?
Chris. Yes.
Right. But
Don't rush it.
he's going to put this out tomorrow.
I'm going to try.
So
Yes.
it's going to be our Christmas Eve show.
Yes.
So tomorrow will be Christmas Eve if this comes out tomorrow. See,
Yes.
so that's I'm just
Miracle.
I'm working a day ahead.
Yeah,
okay,
that's it.
No
That's
guarantees.
all that is.
We're gonna
There's
go-
a lot of pictures probably to put in this one.
Yeah,
I'm just
a
guessing.
ton of pictures.
We'll go to the land of misfit
Yep.
toys. See what we
right.
can find. The
Right.
train with square wheels.
Mike Fuddy, you're here tonight.
Yep.
Go ahead, shoot.
Yeah, the other day, Josh and I took a cruise over to Redboard Hobbies,
True story.
and he had Paul Freese over there. He had one of these new Walters auto racks with the covered sides.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Yeah,
awesome.
I like it. It's actually the old AccuRail kit. Just really looks pretty much the same. I guess Walters put their own coupling system on their swivel coupler, but anyway, it's a nice car, and it looks good with the other Athearn auto racks too, with the paneled sides.
I love the orange and yellow together. That's
Yeah, I
really
did
neat
this.
looking.
It is. So while we were over there, I got another Oxford car. This is a '59 Pontiac, and I just couldn't resist it because it's red, and I really like red cars from that era. And then this little car here actually used to be Ken's car too. I got it from him a long time ago. It's a not Bachman, it's Lifelike.
Oh,
Old. They had a set with this car, which looks like a Mercury to me, a 50 Mercury, and a car that looks something like a 53 Chevy Bel Air. And I always liked the way this one looked, so I decided the other night to change the tail lights on it to better represent the prototype, and then just kind of experimented with some rust washes and layers of paint and stuff, and then I changed the wheels too to make it kind of a rat rod style. So then these last two cars, these are the two Pontiacs I brought last week, and I brought that chrome marker, and then I forgot to bring it tonight, but I did do the red car, so you can, I don't know if you can zoom in or maybe you can take some B-roll of these, but the silver paint on the blue car, as it comes from Oxford, is actually pretty good. It's not chrome, but it's a pretty shiny silver, but the Molotov chrome marker really dresses up the bumpers and stuff for sure.
That's really cool.
that's really
So-
really cool, actually.
Yeah, well, thanks. I ordered some more new cars from Oxford. They got a '59 Plymouth, and I forgot what other.
They had a
Other ones.
bunch of really neat ones I was drooling over. Definitely. Hey Ken.
Hey, yeah.
Hey Ken.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Christmas.
I
Hey,
know.
hey Ken. We got some Christmas cards from some viewers.
Oh, you're holding up the one from Myra?
From
and
Scott,
Scott?
Scott and Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Scott and Myra Lindsay. That's
I
right.
know, we love you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you
That's very cool.
for the card. My father sent me a card of his driveway with
Yeah, I
snow
got
on
one of
it.
those too.
Actually, Shopping by the Woods is a snowy evening by Robert Frost. Photo, Ken Bird's view. This is, okay, anyway.
wow.
Yeah, thanks,
Look,
Dad.
This is from Pete.
Pete Munger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very cool.
Oh, it's a fold-up card with a
Yeah,
model of a
nice.
truck in it. We love you, Pete Munger. We love your modeling as well. Thank you
Yeah.
for the gift card to the hardware store.
Here's Bill and Ava.
Best
the
wishes.
Wards.
Hold on now. This is important now. Right? Bill
Yeah,
Ward and
absolutely.
Ava.
Yeah.
Best wishes to you and Holly. Please extend our regards to James, Joshua, Mike, and the entire podcast crew.
It's a great year, and we wish you the best for next year.
Mac Rail.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
That one, where's the envelope for that one? Pick that up.
Oh.
Dropping
It dropped.
everything.
I've got, oh, this one's so
dropping
pretty too. You know, mackerel, that's from,
Watch it, don't bump my
Bulk
head.
heads, yeah, that's it. Bump
There
heads
you go.
now.
That was in there.
we love, McComas.
Who? Yeah, I never.
We
knew
had
who
him
he
on
was.
one of the shows with his own railroad.
Very cool.
I know, right? This is from the drummer, Joey.
Oh, Joey Gento.
Awesome.
Joey Gento, and he put in a
Yeah.
picture of his proto. It's a really pretty card.
Oh, that is
Very
cool.
nice.
Holly took all
Wow.
these cards and she put them on the Christmas tree as ornaments, and tonight I pulled them all down so we could
Nice.
show them off.
Very cool. Thank you, everyone.
I know, right?
That's
Thank you
super
very
cool.
kindly for thinking about us. Where do we go after that? I want to ask Joe, what website do they go to purchase your calendars, any of your books?
McMillanPublications.com.
Okay.
Okay.
And if they want to see your photographs, you've got something called a Flickr account?
Flickr.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and shoot that out there.
You're catching me off guard. It's Flickr, and then Flickr, they spell Flickr. They leave out the C. Flickr.com/photos/Joe McMillan 118.
That's fantastic.
Very
and I did a
cool.
search on that website tonight, and I simply typed in your name and spelled it correctly, and all your photos came up for me.
Is it MC or MAC?
MC,
Okay.
capital MILLAN.
Okay.
And guys, I've got about 30 minutes, and I'm going to have to run. I promised the family I'd take them to a movie tonight.
That's
All
awesome.
Oh,
because
what movie are you
We've
going
got
to
our
see?
kids here tonight, and we've had our Christmas today because of all these schedules that we have to try to match up with and all that. So
course.
I told them I'd take them out to a movie tonight. So
Nice.
Good for you.
we have to leave in 30, 35 minutes.
we're going to
All
wrap
right,
this
well, we
up
have
in the
to
next 2 minutes.
Yep.
Spring Creek Model Trains, the family out there, the Zuckers, and all of their wonderful children. They all wished all the viewers out there a very Merry Christmas. Denny Yelsma said, thank you for all the sales this year. Oh my gosh. Let's go to G&L Robotics. Greg Summerland. This month you guys have purchased well over 100 3D print machines. We really appreciate that as Christmas gifts, and he's got all of them getting shipped out. All the sponsors that help us promote this, the best hobby in the world. We are simple model railroaders flying by the seat of our pants.
I want to say Merry Christmas to everybody watching. Thank you for letting us into your house all year round. We love that we're in there. Merry Christmas to all you guys too.
Yeah.
Merry
Thank you,
Christmas.
Josh.
Yes,
Same to
I'm
you.
happy to
Merry
to
Christmas to
know
all my
you
friends.
and to celebrate with you. So
Well, thanks. Appreciate
It's
that.
all-
best
kumbaya.
hobby in the world.
Rock and roll.
Rock and
Merry
roll.
Christmas
Right.
to all of our.
So with that, before we leave tonight, we're going to run some of these N-scale locomotives on the N-scale layout, which is set up over there.
I know.
And we're going to use the NCE power system, which we've already got our throttle set up over there. Check out the NCE website, the power of DCC. There's a lot of other products on there that will help you through the entire year to make your model railroad just that much more better. And I've reached out to Jim Scorse, and I hope to have him on a show this up year so that we can hear about all of the wonderful products that they do make. Because I can't remember some of them all the time. There's so many. So with that, guys, Joe, thank you very much for being here tonight.
Well, you're quite welcome. Enjoyed it.
That's awesome.
Excellent.
Everybody, happy Christmas, happy Merry Christmas.
Merry New Year.
Merry
Happy
New
New Year.
Let's go run some trains.
That's awesome.
Nice visiting with you.
All right, everybody, don't go yet. We need a thumbnail, so I need Joe to wave at the camera, and all of us are going to wave at the camera and do thumbs up or whatever. Joshua's going to hold up your book, and ready, set, and smile, and go.
Perfect.
And we have a thumbnail. Very good.
Joe, it was an honor to meet you and to talk to you tonight.
Absolutely. Keep camera one rolling for 45 seconds. Thank you. As
Yes.
we roll credits. Okay, this is the last show of the year, guys.
I know.
Wow.
That's great.
40 minutes, 29 seconds.
Excellent.
It'll be out sometime. I know. Okay, I'm gonna kill. I'm gonna kill sound.
Joe, thank you very much for being
Yeah,
on.
thank-
And
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you
We'll
very
we'll
much.
have this out tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes, that's
Ken
it.
Ken will have it out tomorrow.
He'll get
so-
right on
No
it.
guarantees, but it's gonna be out in the next 48 hours, I promise.
Yep, just go to YouTube and Ken Patterson to check it out.
Okay. So with that said, I'm gonna stop screen capture and make sure we have a good file.
Excellent.
And we do have a good file on screen capture. I'm gonna bring Joe's sound on the TV in case you guys still want to talk to him, but he said he's gotta go.
Yeah.
He's going to a movie.
I
Yeah,
know.
we'll let you go, Joe. Thanks. Have a good time at the movie.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
I'm gonna kill sound.